So one part is initial part is based on Biot-Savart law. Biot-Savart law, this is expression. This is a constant term, ideal in terms of magnitude and direction. So many cases, whenever a vector quantity is involved, we calculate magnitude and direction separately. So this is a constant term. And numerator, what do we have? Ideal into sine theta. What does this theta term indicate here? This is Biot-Savart law gives you magnetic field due to a small current element. What of negligible length? Very small length. So this is the length dl. So I dl sine theta. Theta is the angle between dl vector and position vector of the point with reference to the current element. So current element taken is, this is taken as reference point. So if I have to calculate point P, this position vector with reference to the current element becomes my r vector, and this is my angle theta. So this is my formula is, and angle theta is between two vectors, and it's a part of the cross product. So cross product, see, to find direction, we have to use the property of cross product. And if we understand that part, it makes things easy. So direction we can find out based on right-hand thumb rule of cross product. So if it is straight element, one method of finding is keep the thumb across the direction of current. The way your fingers curl, that gives the direction of magnetic field lines. So if I have something like this, so if it is straight element, so if I look from the top, anywhere on this is straight element, you can all notice this how the fingers are curling. So if it is straight element, everywhere the field lines will form a concentric circle. Field lines will form a concentric circle, and it will lie in a plane perpendicular to the current element. That's what we notice here. Right hand grip. I hope all of you understand right hand grip. Some of you still have little difficulty with direction. So those who have little difficulty with direction, at least at the time of revision, try to get a better grip of directions. I hope this figure is clear enough. And that's for the straight element. But typically we come across two kind of elements. One is straight element, another is which is arc of a circle or a full circle. So those are things we need to understand. So circle. So if I okay. One more thing I would like to, maybe one more way we can understand this is something like this. So suppose we take axis, all three axes, so okay. This is x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. So if I have a current element which is placed near the origin and something like this. So what is the field at any point on xy plane? Field at any point in xy plane. Can we make some statement about direction of field? Direction of field at any point in xy plane. At any point on xy plane. Based on the cross product property, what is statement we can make about the direction of field at any point in xy plane?
It won't have any component in xy plane.
Yes, it will always be, it doesn't matter where we take the point, field will always be perpendicular to xy plane. It will not have any xy component anywhere. So field will be perpendicular to plane. So it will only be either, if it is perpendicular, this means what? It will be either plus k cap or minus k cap. And so not only here, so it means if I take another element also, this also lying along y-axis, even this element also will create field only along k component or minus k component. This is simple point I think we need to understand well. If we understand, so and there also what we feel, if you look at xy plane, if you face the direction of current, there's some part of xy plane on the right hand side, there's a part on the left hand side. Facing the direction of current, anywhere on the right hand side, right in. The direction of field will be into the plane, and anywhere on the left hand side. So everywhere on the right hand side one direction, everywhere left hand side other direction. And so something like this. If this is the current element, so if you face in the direction of current element, you stand, this is the right hand side in, left hand side out. And if I draw current element like this, actually this is same as this. Only thing what happen, if your orientation of the observer changes, you get the same thing. So here also, if you face in this direction, this is right hand side in, right in. So straight element, Those who don't want to follow cross product, write in is easy. Write in the direction, any straight element. And if you connect all four together, it becomes like a loop. If it is loop, anywhere inside the loop here, all are cross. So all column, if current elements form a loop, at all points inside the loop, the field will be in the same direction. Something like this. If the loop is of this nature, again I can apply right hand thumb rule, and this is if it's a planar loop, anywhere in the plane of the loop, field will only be perpendicular to the plane. So it will not have component along the plane. So if you have any loop, whatever shape the loop has, the field due to current in a planar loop will be perpendicular to the plane containing the loop. It will have one direction within the loop. It will have opposite direction outside the loop. How do you find direction? Again, right hand thumb rule. Curl your fingers along the direction which the current is flowing, which is this direction, right hand. Take your right hand, put your fingers curling in that direction. Which direction the thumb points? Your thumb points into the plane of paper. That's the direction of field inside the loop. That's something like this. And what we understand from here is something like, again, this is the direction of field. And one more point we can understand from this. If I have a, okay, I'll come to that part again. If I have a loop, something like this, anywhere on the axis of the loop, first of all, in the plane of loop, field is perpendicular to the plane. And if the direction at the center is like this, anywhere on the axis also, the direction of field is same. Whether it's left side, right side, whichever side the loop is, everywhere the direction of field on the axis of a loop is same, circular loop. And how is the direction? Direction given by the right hand thumb. This is the direction. So at this point, the field is upwards. If I take another point along the axis below this circular loop, this direction also will be same. That's the point we need to understand here. Current element in form of arc of a circle. If we take arc of a circle, if I divide, because if I have to apply Biot-Savart law, I divide into small parts. What I notice, all elements here, if this is the point, position vector with reference to all elements is perpendicular to the element and same distance. Okay, so all elements of equal length will create equal magnetic field. All are in the same direction. So I can simply add it. Okay, all small element, and we know we can easily find the formula. I hope all of you remember the formula. Formula is pretty simple. Formula for full circle is equal to mu naught I by, what is formula used? Mu naught by 4 pi I by r into theta. Theta is the angle the arc of the circle, current carrying circle makes. If it is 2 pi, if theta is equal to 2 pi for full circle, it becomes equal to mu naught I by 2r. Half a circle, half of this, quarter of one, all such cases. Finding field, so due to a circular arc, we can find field only at the center, no other point. That's the only point we can find field at. Okay. Similar way, we will not go into derivation. If it is a finite straight element, here also, all elements, if we take any particular element, I find the point P lies on the left hand side. And field at point P due to each element will be perpendicular to the plane of the figure, and hence we take all elements everywhere it is on the left hand side. All elements create field at point P in the same direction. So if you take a straight element, any straight element, if you take field due to each part of the straight element, each part of the straight element creates a field at a point P in the same direction. Which direction? It will be perpendicular to the plane containing that straight element and point P. So this is the plane of figure. Field will be perpendicular plane of figure. It is right in, left out. It is on the left hand side. Field will be in this direction. And then each element, since all are in the same direction, you can directly integrate. Based on integration, we get our formula. I hope you all recall. The formula is something, we'll apply this formula. Okay, the formula comes something like this. It is mu naught by 4 I by d. D is the perpendicular distance of the point from the line of the current element or its extension. Sometimes we have to extend the line to find the perpendicular distance. So we drop a perpendicular from point P onto the line of current element or its extension. And this is the sine alpha and sine beta term, are angle made by the two extremes with respect to the perpendicular. If two terms are on the opposite side of perpendicular, add up. Both ends are on the same side, it's a difference of the two. Let's apply this case here. Suppose what is the field at the center of equilateral triangular loop of side L and current I. So this is current L in line. So we can take first calculate field due to one part. So what we understand in case of loop, whatever direction the field created by a part of the loop, every other part also will create field in the same direction. So this, if I take this particular side, it will create a field dot. Other two sides also will create dot. So how to find field here? To find field, first thing what I do, step one is to drop a perpendicular. From here I drop a perpendicular. I have to find this height d, which is easy to calculate. Then we connect two ends of the current element, straight current element. And this is what we notice, these two elements, angles are on the opposite sides, or the current element also are on the both sides, either side. When their current element is on either side of the perpendicular, we use a plus sign. Okay. If entire element lying only one side of the perpendicular, then only you take the negative sign. Because the length becomes shorter, so we have to take the subtraction. So this is a formula I get to use. What is alpha and beta? This is pretty simple. This angle is 30, this angle is 30. So this is 60 and this is 60. I find value of d, and this will be what will the alpha term? Alpha will be 60 and beta will be 60. And if I substitute the value of d also, I get the field due to one side, and owing to symmetry, other two sides also will create same field, all in the same direction. Resultant field will be the price of the field due to each side. That's the method of calculation, and how can solve. Similar way, think of this is a point P here. There are two elements, one going like this, another is like this. I think this, suppose, okay, last time I saw it like this. Let's solve it for like this. What will the field at point P? So here also what you can do, this is infinite element. So let me call this point is P, this point let me call O, and this is OA element and OB element. Let's calculate due to OA element. So how do you calculate field due to OA element first? First thing what you do, you drop a perpendicular from point P. But if I drop a perpendicular, I have to drop perpendicular on its extension. I have to extend this line element. And whenever I have to extend, actually it's minus sign. If I have to extend it, drop perpendicular is not falling onto the line element, I have to use negative sign. So when I drop this perpendicular, what is the length? This is d. This becomes equal to d by root 2. So my formula is mu naught by 4 pi I by d into sine alpha minus sine beta. Another way of thinking, whenever the foot of the perpendicular is not landing on the current element, it means we have to take a negative sign. All are into one side only. So what is the angle it makes with reference to the perpendicular? So the angle has to be measured from the perpendicular. This is one angle 45 degree, other angle is 90. So one angle is 90, larger angle first, smaller angle next. We substitute, we find the current. And what is the direction of field here? It is lying on the right hand side. Direction of field at P due to OA is cross. Similar way, if I have to find due to this element OB, again I can extend this element. And here also we drop, exactly same thing repeats. This also, it is on the right of OA, is right on BO also. So both will act in the same direction and add it up. Had the direction been opposite, the field at point P would have done 0. That's a way to apply. There are a few more questions we can do one by one and find out field here. Okay, so this particular element also, so we have to find field here at this point. Okay, so this current element lies in which plane? This element lies in this element and the point. They lie in XY plane. If I have to calculate, first thing I understand, the field will be either Z direction or minus Z direction. I put my thumb in this particular direction of right hand, which way my fingers will curl. I notice the fingers curl in this fashion. It means due to this element, field will be in the downward direction. Similarly, if I do for other one round, now my thumb is in this direction. And we know if currents are in the opposite direction, field created are in the same direction. So this element also, let me take the second element, which is the one on the right hand side. Which direction the field will be due to this element here. And if I put my thumb, my fingers will, if I point thumb towards me, my fingers will curl towards like this. In this case, I am pointing my thumb away. This case, thumb is pointing towards me. Fingers will curl like this. So this also will create a field in the downward direction. So both will add up. And what is the magnitude of field? It will be equal to half the infinite wire. It will be infinite wire is mu naught I by 2 pi d. It will each one will be half of this, but we multiply two of them. So this both are minus k cap direction. How about circular ring? Circular ring lies in YZ plane. Hence, field will be perpendicular to YZ plane. I curl my fingers in this direction. If I curl my fingers in this direction, my thumb will point away from me, which is in this direction. The field due to semicircular element will be along minus I cap direction. So how do you calculate these two add up? And they say take the vector sum. So I hope all of you can recall. Similar way, you can solve these questions on your own as well and see that it is well understood. Okay, now coming to a point on the axis of a circular loop. So here also we take into pair of two elements. When you take pair of two elements, what we notice here, the vertical components cancel out, horizontal components add. Based on that, we will not go into derivation. Let's understand what does field at any point on the axis of circular loop comes to. Field on the axis of the circular loop, I think this may be a little easier form to understand. This is a constant term into twice the magnetic dipole moment divided by r cube. What r cube in r cube is the slant distance or inclined distance. R is this distance. It depends on cube of this distance. But as the x is when x is much larger than radius of the ring, in that case the theta becomes much smaller, r becomes equal to x. So this is an approximation, and you notice this formula is exactly the same as the formula of field on the axis of electric dipole. On the axis is equal to twice the dipole moment divided by r cube. If the distance is not too large, cube of the inclined distance. And what is m here equal to? M is current into area. So n is magnetic dipole moment. Magnetic dipole moment is equal to n times current into area. So any current carrying loop is a magnetic dipole. And what is the direction of magnetic dipole is given by right hand thumb. So NIA is the area. So in this particular, if we calculate, we can easily find this expression. So this is also what is something we need to remember. Okay. So something like this. Suppose, is this valid even at the center? This formula is valid even at the center also. Suppose a simple question. A circle radius r carries a current I. Magnetic field at center is B. So this point is B. So at B, what is R value equal to? What is the distance from any point on the axis to this point? Any point on the ring to this point? That's the inclined distance is equal to capital R. What we have to find the distance from the center of the axis, coil where magnetic field will be B by 8. So there's some point at a distance x from here. And if it is x, let's say this distance is small r. This is equal to B by 8. So, this is B by 8. So if it is B by 8, since B is proportional, can we find the x here? If this become 1/8, since field is proportional to 1 by r cube, it means this distance is twice the, this is equal to 2r. We can easily arrive at this. If this is 2r, we can easily calculate x. Okay, so there are simple application loop. So I think almost we are in time. So I'll stop here, and whatever questions we have come across during the session today, all of you should solve those questions, and I hope you should not have any difficulty solving. Okay.